What's up, guys? It's your girl Nosh. This is just a quick collective message. I'm gonna get right into it. I was just sitting here, and all of a sudden, I kind of felt like there is no one that can do anything to you going forward. Like, if you're sitting in the conception of or thought of that someone is trying to hold you back, someone is trying to stop you, at this point in the game, you already know who those people are. And just by you knowing who they are, they cannot do anything going forward. No matter what they do, it's not going to affect you. So if that was the confirmation you're looking for, like if you're thinking about getting married, having children, starting your own business, moving on with life, and you're scared, or I'm not even going to use the word scared, let's not use that one. You're nervous, or you're a little paranoid that someone is still trying to block you. No. These people are trying to block you, but it's not working. It's not affecting you because you no longer walk this earth unaware. You are literally walking mindfully. You're walking intentionally versus unintentionally. Before, you were in the energy of, just doing things without thinking about it. But now you're actually thinking before you're doing something. I'll give you an example. If a couple years back you were into drinking, you were drinking every weekend, and you were drinking to the point where you would just, you would have to have, be Ubered home, or you'd wake up with a massive headache the next morning and you're like, oh my God, what did I do? Oh my God, I drank so much. I shouldn't have done this and I shouldn't have done that. That drinker's remorse, I call it, you know what I mean? Like, you do shit when you're drunk and then you wake up and you're like, oh, did I really do that? So a couple of years back, if that's what you were doing, you're no longer doing that. You are that same individual that's sitting down, and now with having the proper drinking etiquette, you're having one glass. You're not drinking to the point of obliviation anymore, okay? Or inhibition anymore. You realize that when you drink, you tend to do things that are stupid, so you're not doing this anymore. That's just an example that I'm giving you. You know what I mean? So if you were doing something too much and you saw that it was bringing you nothing but hazard, you stopped doing it. If you were dealing with people that were toxic and bringing toxicity into your life, you're aware of that now, and you're no longer engaging with these individuals anymore. That's where whoever it was that was against you and was doing spell work on you was doing the spell work on you to have you confused on whether to walk away from the negative things in your life. But since you are being aware that, wait a minute, you know what? It's 11 o'clock at night. I don't need to eat right now. Maybe let me just have some fruit, or let me drink some water. Let me drink a whole glass of water, and it will fill me up and I will go to sleep. So now you're not overeating. Before, you were like, for no reason, you were just like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm bored, let me eat. You're no longer doing that. If you were looking at yourself in the mirror and you were picking at yourself like, oh, I don't like my nose. Oh, why do my eyes look like this? Why are my skin looking like this? You're no longer doing that. Instead, you're taking action to drinking more water, to eating properly, to eating right, to exercising, to not being stressed anymore. You're doing the things that you were supposed to be doing. If you are still doing those things, this is your video. This is your kind of like your sign, your confirmation to be more aware. Because when you are more aware of your body, your essence, your energy, your spirit, your soul, the people that are trying to do magic on you, right? People who are trying to throw beauty spells at you, financial spells at you, family spells at you, love spells at you, they're not going to work because you are more grown now. Before, it's easy to fool someone who is gullible, but when that person is no longer gullible, you cannot fool them anymore. And at the end of the day, if you look at magic, aka illusions, it is supposed to make you delusional. Right? People even threw spell work at you to make you delusional, to make you sound like you didn't know what the hell you were talking about, but because you started becoming aware. And again, if you're not aware yet, hopefully after listening to this video, you will be much more aware than when you were before you sat down to listen to this video. So these people who are lined up, to do this magic on you, to do the spell work on you, to keep you from moving forward, they have been exposed. How were they exposed? You saw them in your dream. You felt their energy. You keep seeing their name everywhere. You got a reading done and they told you who it is. These people are no longer being concealed because Spirit knows that you're mature enough to handle who these people are. Because a few ages ago, or a few months ago, a few years ago, the energy that you were living in, you were very immature. You would let your emotions rule you. You would let emotions cloud your judgment. So if you were to find out who these people were a few months ago, a few years ago, you would have counter-reacted by doing spell work back to them. But that's not what we're here to do. That's where I want you guys to understand. The less you do, the more impact you make. Meaning, when you know someone is throwing spell work at you and you do not retaliate, the universe helps you more. God helps you more. Angels help you more. Your ascended masters help you more. Spirit guides help you more. Why? Because they're looking at you like, look, this person is not doing anything, but they're still getting hit by the enemy. The enemy at that point needs to realize, and they think that what they're hitting you with is making you weak. Instead, it's not making you weak. It's only making you stronger if you know how to transmute it properly. Okay? This is where I call the alchemy. The alchemy sets in when you take any negative situation that you're put in and you turn it into a positive situation for yourself. Example number 1, if somebody was throwing spells at you to isolate you from your friends and your family, you welcomed it with open arms and you said, you know what? I actually like being alone. I like my peace. I don't mind being by myself because being by myself, I'm able to understand who I am. And the more you were by yourself and the more you understand who you were, you became more aware. So this actually worked in your favor. So now, example number 2, if you were out there looking for love, trying to find a boyfriend, trying to find a girlfriend, and every time you came across someone, they ended up hurting you or playing you. This was love spell done on your love life, you learned from it. You understood, okay, that's not what I want anymore. If a person hurts me, it's not worth it to be with them because they threw this love spell at you to have everybody hurt you or to have everybody fool you or to what is the word I want to use? Oh my God, to confuse you, right? Confuse you into thinking that them being with you is love. Instead, they were using you and you were okay with it. You've woken up to that. Now you understand, wait a minute, anybody that uses me, I don't want to be with them. So that love spell that they did on your love life actually worked in your favor because now you're able to detect what is for you and what is not for you. This actually taught you how to love yourself. Okay. So if somebody was throwing financial spells at you, like, fucking with your money, trying to stop your money flow, you worked harder. You hustled harder. So say if you're a tarot reader, you're a person who's a spiritual leader and you like to talk to the world about spirituality and this and that. If you found yourself kind of quieting down and not putting videos out and not doing so much, social context, what'd you do in this time period? You figured out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Instead of saying, oh, I'm not going to continue putting videos up or I'm not going to continue helping people, you turned around and you did it even more. You became even more consistent than you were before with your videos and with your spiritual context. You know why? Well, content. Why? Because the financial spell that was put on you made you understand what it means to work harder for the things that you want. Again, bam, in your favor. So if these people were trying to make you struggle, what you ended up doing was you said, okay, you want to make me struggle? I'm going to learn from this struggle. So whatever they did, it actually ended up being in your favor. So I feel like I want to tell somebody this. If you were with someone and you really love them, right? And then all of a sudden you started having problems out of nowhere. You may think that this was like, somebody put like a curse on your love or a hex on your love life and this and that. It's okay. Good. Let them do that because now you know better. You see how you took whatever they threw at you and you turned it into a positive outcome in your life? right? If you were working somewhere, and again, let's go back to that financial spells, like the financial blockage spells. You were working somewhere and you were having problems. What did you do? You went out and you found another job that probably pays more, gives you more holiday pay, is more comfortable for you, probably closer to your home. They try to fuck you up where you were working. You ended up finding more work. Right? This is called being protected by God, because what you do is you don't retaliate. You stay, I don't like to use the word obedient when it comes to God, because I feel like when you say obedient, it makes you feel like you're in like this order or this occult. And I want you guys to really have this relationship with God where I don't want you to feel obedient doing something. I want you to do things for God because you want to do them. You're doing them out of love for God. You're doing them out of the faith that you have for God in the universe. You're doing them out of the love that you have for God in the universe. Because soon as we turn something into like, oh, you have to do this, you must do this, it's not fun anymore, right? But when you have a relationship with God, a friendship with God, a connection with God, you don't have to be obedient. You just do it naturally. That's why they say, are you a slave to God or you are a servant? A servant likes to work for God. A slave has to be forced to do something that they don't want to do. So I say be a servant than, over being a slave. I feel like I'm a servant of God. I never saw myself as a slave for God, because I always felt like, God is not going to force me to do something. God is always going to have me do things that are good for me. Like our parents, if we have a good set of parents, they teach us proper manners. They teach us proper etiquette that is good for us. They teach us the value of a dollar, because as we enter the adult world, we understand what that value of the dollar is. We understand what hard work is. So these people sitting around trying to throw magic at you, they threw so much. Like they really had nothing else better to do but to try to bring you down, But you have to ask yourself at the end of the day, why were they trying to bring you down? What made you so special? Why are they so angst about it? Why are they so hard up on bringing you down? Why? Because you are the change that they are afraid of. You are the change. You are that being. You are that light that they envy. You are that light that they wish that they could be like. You know what I mean? But since they sold their light a long time ago, right? They sold their light, they sold their soul, aka a long time ago, by doing this magic over and over. They sold their soul and their light. And now they're trying to get it back through you. But your light is yours. Your soul is yours. Your DNA is yours. Your destiny is yours. Your path is yours. No one can take that from you. Like, I don't know what these people were thinking or what, Harry Potter book that they're living in, but you cannot steal someone's destiny. You cannot steal someone's gifts. You cannot steal someone's abilities. You can use them for a time period, but then what happens is when that person starts to become aware and more grown and more evolved in their own energy, they can take that power back in a heartbeat, and then you're left with nothing. Hence why I tell you guys, call your power back every day. Here you go. I call my power back from all those people, places, and things that no longer serve me. I call my power back from all those people, places, and things that were stealing my power and my energy without my permission. I call my power and energy back from all those places, realms, timelines, phases, people, karmics, connections that are no longer good for me. I call it all back now. You call that all back to you. Some of you may feel dizzy. Some of you may feel lightheaded. Some of you may feel like your heart's beating really fast, because think about all that energy that was being stored away from you, your own energy. Think about it. Think about how much these people have stolen from you. Now you're getting it back. And once you get it back, be sure not to let these people back into your lives, because they're like addicts, okay? Once they feel you pull away, they're going to want it even more. I have a few examples of this situation where I've pulled my energy back from a few people, and then lo and behold, a couple of days later, here they go texting me talking about, oh, I'm sorry, I never called you back. Oh, I'm sorry, this went down, that happened, and this happened. Oh, I know you don't want to talk to me. Well, if you know I don't want to talk to you, why the fuck is you messaging me? You know what I mean? But people are shameful. Okay, people throw rocks and then try to hide their hands. But this time, the rock thrower has been exposed. So all of you know who your rock throwers are. You know who your people are. You know who the culprits are. Now, what you want to do is continue doing what you're doing. Start focusing on your career. Start focusing back on loving yourself. Start focusing on being happy. And what's going to happen is that's going to be your retaliation. That's going to be your barricade of what's going to stop more spell work from coming in. Because I'm telling you, you're sitting in a point where the spell work comes at you, but it just literally, it touches you like the wind. You know, if like the ocean is about a foot, 2 feet away from you, I'm bad at math, guys, so don't even I'm just saying. If you're standing on a rock and you know how the ocean comes up, right? And it sprays you, that's all you're getting. You're just getting a spray where you're like, huh? Did someone just throw magic at me? Did someone just throw something at me? And then you catch it real quick and you're able to send it back, right? So that's being called living in awareness. No matter what energy is being sent at you, you're sniffing that energy out like a bloodhound. And if you're not, I hope this video is the catalyst for you to start sniffing out energy like a fucking bloodhound. Okay? No matter who you've been around, start looking at them like, why are you around me? And why you move the way you move. When you start really looking at people and why they do what they do, you will understand a lot about them. And then from there, you can pick and choose whether you want to keep that person in your life or you want to move away from that person in your life, right? Because again, there are people out there, they're not emotionally open or intelligently educated enough to understand that you can't fuck with God's children. I say that with emphasis. The fact that we actually believe in a higher power is what is our saving grace. The fact that we actually run to higher vibrations to help us out in moments of need and in moments of sorrow is the reason why these higher powers and these higher beings help us. Not once whenever we're going down that slippery slope do we reach out to the lower vibrations and say, hey, can you go fuck that person up? No, we tell our higher vibrations, aka our ascending masters, our spirit guides, our angels, like, guys, I can't do this anymore. Go take care of them. Please just deal with them. Because that's what I do moving forward. I feel like someone is throwing magic at me. I don't do nothing about it. All I do is, God, can you please take care of that for me? Like, I'm not dealing with it. I'm not even going to be distracted by it. Because that's literally exactly what it is. You're walking down a path. The path that the universe chose for you. The path that is meant for you to fulfill your purpose in life. You're walking down it. And here come these people with their spell work as distractions. The name of the game is don't get distracted. You don't get distracted, you will go far. All right? Because at all cost, you will win. This is no longer that they get to win. They've been winning. But now it's you know what? I'm going to tell you a little secret. Sometimes you got to let the enemy think that they won in order for you to win the entire battle. Or not even the battle. Let the enemy think that they won the battle and you end up winning the war. Okay? So if there is a war against you, just know that you're winning. All right? So don't worry about it. I love you guys. I hope this message helps you. Take care.